This is a short video on how to put together a blind bin. I love the blind bins. I love it to use in stories such as How to Catch a Leprechaun, the How to Catch a series. It allows you, the teacher, to be specific in the materials that you provide for students. It allows the student to, you ask them, okay, we want you to catch a leprechaun. How would you do that? Ideally, draw your prototype, and who would draw, and I need some cement, some bricks. Okay, those are great ideas, but I have for you, and I let them pick, I usually put numbers on the side, I have for you a bin. And you can only use what's in this bin to put together your trap to catch your leprechaun. And I don't think there are bricks or a cement truck in this bin. So it requires the student, if they're doing it individually, if they're doing it with small groups, to go back and reevaluate their plan, take a look at it. I don't let them see what's in this until I see their plan first. I want them to have something on paper, a prototype. I want to see what they're going to build, and then I usually have them work in small groups, you know, when that is available to us again, small group instruction, that we can have everyone working with materials. Until then, they work on it at home, and they do some wonderful things. I got some great things on how to catch a turkey, how to catch a snowman or a yeti. They did some wonderful traps in their own homes. They used materials, anything that was available. So I tried to keep that in mind, try to keep it simple, a lot used shoe boxes. But you as a teacher can control the blind bin. Now the blind bin usually could look like this with a clear box, but then they kind of, even teachers try to look, hey, what's in that one? I want this one. I kind of put numbers on the side, and then I let the group pick. But I found these, they had some colored ones at the Dollar Tree. So I bought a bunch of different colored ones. It's a little harder to see what's inside, but being able to control what's inside is important. You want to give them certain materials, some enough but not quite enough, so they can renegotiate their plan. What I usually put in, I use something that they could use to stick it together, whether it's glue. Sometimes instead of glue I put in Play-Doh. It makes them think, oh, how can we stick this together? They go, oh, let's use the Play-Doh. So you want to lead them, guide them to the water, but let them make the decisions. It's the hardest thing for teachers to do, but I think the best thing for STEM teachers to do is to not answer their questions, and they get a little frustrated, but I turn it around into a question and pose it back to them. So I'm not really answering, but I'm guiding them without giving them the answer. So what I put in the blind bins, put just enough, and things that we collect, playing cards do nicely with sticking together, craft sticks, jumbo, and the popsicle size. Pipe cleaners, we used to call them back in the day. Now they're fancy, they're called chenille sticks. Plastic straws, preferably with the paper on, because they can also use the paper to do something with. Something, like I said, to stick, whether it's glue, a little bit of Play-Doh, yarn, string, anything. And they also can use the actual bin. And I had students ask me that. I said, yeah, I said you could use whatever's inside the bin, including the bin. So sometimes, you know, they use the actual bin and they create something along the lines of this to create their trap. But the blind bin is a wonderful tool that, like I said, you can control the materials. Sometimes when I have kids back in the novel engineering nook, I allow them to take a look on the shelves, and I said, now if you had the opportunity, I'm asking you to think about one thing you would trade in here that you might not need, but you might want, that's on the shelf. So sometimes they trade for more popsicle sticks, they trade for maybe the playing cards they need, index cards, larger index cards. So sometimes I offer them that opportunity if they seem to be getting a little frustrated. But the nice thing about the blind bin is they will actually work with what's in here. And it allows them, like I said, once they have their plan and I see their plan, I give them their blind bin that they select, and they reevaluate and they see what they could use. Some of the blind bins could contain just Legos. That's an easier way to do it, but getting kids to build with Legos, some of the kids I had to actually show how to put Legos together, which kind of broke my heart because that was, you know, back in the 70s, my brother was obsessed with Legos and we were constantly building and putting things together. Nowadays, they have the complete, you know, kits, and once you put the kit together, it's kind of finished. You can't really do anything with it. So that's why I like the big boxes of just the bricks. It allows them to be creative. So this is the blind bin, and like I said, a great tool to use when doing maker activities, especially with the How to Catch a series. Thanks.